Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess if you're new here, and today I thought that we would do something a little different for our October TBR. So usually I have a whole video about my reading wrap up, which you guys have already seen, and then I also talk about my TBR. And generally when I'm making those videos, I take like the month that I'm reading and like maybe what I'm reading for a book club and what I feel like reading, and try to come up with a TBR to share with you guys. But I thought this time it would be really fun to do a little screen recording, and I have a few ideas. So basically I have quite a few books on my Goodreads TBR. If you guys don't already know, I typically read off of my Kindle like 99% of the time. So I don't really have books staring at me in the face. I mean, like I have a few in my shelves, but a majority of them I have read. And because I have a lot on my Kindle, I just keep acquiring books, or like I'll go on Goodreads and I'll say that I want to read something, but then they're not top of mind. So I'm actually going to go onto my Goodreads and just like look at, well, let me actually share my screen with you guys. But my goal today is to go onto my Goodreads, look through all of the books that I have on my TBR, and what we're going to do is have a random generator pick some books for us. So I'm actually very excited to do this. Okay, so this is my Goodreads. This is my like homepage. It says that I joined in August of 2021. I think that's when I started reading again. I used to have a Goodreads. I don't remember when, like a while back, but this was basically the time that I rejoined, I guess you can say. And I'm technically reading The Finish Line, but I'm hoping to finish that by the end of this month. It's just taking me a long time because I'm not super into the book, but I do want to read it. So this is what I'm talking about. On my to read shelf, I have 472 books. And so I really think that if I use a random number generator, not random number generator, what is it called? Like a random word generator, I could take all of the titles and it will just tell me which books to read. I'm thinking that we will choose somewhere around 4 or 5 books. I think that's going to be good because this last month I read 5 books. Some months I was reading 10 books. I don't really know how I was doing that, but I want to play it safe, and I also want to have the ability to add on additional books based off of like what I feel like I'm wanting to read this month, if that makes sense, because who knows how I'm going to be feeling. We'll kind of just start there. I also already read my book club book for October in like the end of September because I was so excited to read it. So we're ahead of the game. So all of the books that we can read or that we choose will like be ready to go and read, and we don't have to take into consideration any other additional books. So before we get started though, I kind of wanted to go through and see if there were like any books that I was super excited for or any books that I was like a little nervous for, because I haven't really looked at this list a whole lot. So I see that I added a lot starting in 2021, and like there's some in here like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I think that would one day be really interesting to read. I don't know that I'm super into that. Dune, I have been putting off. I tried it. I actually have the book physically. I don't know what it is about it. I like can't get into it for some reason. And I haven't watched the movies either because I couldn't get into the book. So, you know, I feel like I have a lot of classics at the beginning here, like To Kill a Mockingbird, Great Gatsby, things like that. And then I'm going to just, oh my God, I have 16 pages. Okay, let's just go to like page 6. See what's over there. Oh, I'm also scared of A Court of Silver Flames. That's another one that I've been putting off. I read the entire series except for that one, and I don't know. I can't. Okay. I think there's a lot of these that like I don't actually know too much about them. Like I don't think I would want to actually read any of these. In fact, I should probably just take them off of my list because I don't think I have interest in reading those. But for the sake of this video, we're just gonna leave everything on here as is. So what we'll do is we're gonna go back to my books, I think. And I think there's a way for me to like export my data. Oh, here we go. Import and export. So I'm going to export my library, and what we're going to do is we're going to take all of the ones that say to read, and we're going to put in a number. I keep saying number generator. I don't know why. A random generator. I found this random picker on Google somewhere. So I think it's just exporting. Amazing. Okay, we have our whole list. So here are all of the books that I have on my to read shelf just put into here, and I'm going to grab the titles and we're going to put them in this random picker. And I think I wanted to do 4 or 5, but maybe I do 6 instead, just to like keep it fun. Let's go to the random picker and we have all of our books. All right, and I'm gonna do one by one because I could just put 6, but I think it'll be more fun to do one by one because I'm a little nervous. And as we get the books, we will go to Goodreads, look up, like in case I forgot anything, and we can read them together. Let's do the first one. The Girl Who Lived. Okay. The Girl Who Lived by Christopher Grayson. Oh, it got a 4-star. I vaguely remember this book cover. Okay, so it is a mystery thriller, which is really exciting because I really want to read more like spooky mystery thriller type books, especially during the fall spooky season. No one believes her story. The police think she's crazy. Her therapist thinks she's suicidal. Everyone else thinks she's a dangerous drunk. They're all right, but did she see the killer? As the anniversary of the murders approach, Faith Winters is released from psychiatric hospital. Yanked back to the last spot on earth she wants to be, her hometown where the slayings took place. I think this is a good first one. It sounds like it's about someone who saw some murders happen. She's being brought back to the place of the crimes. She has some survivor's guilt, and it's mystery thrillers. Let me write it down so I don't forget. I think that's a really good first one. All right, the next one. The Night Circus. If I remember correctly, I think I actually just recently put this one on my list because I heard about it from someone else's video, but let's read about it. Okay, so it did get 4.01 stars, which is great. And it was also nominated for a book favorite in 2011, which I didn't realize it was that old, but okay. The circus arrives without warning. No announcements precede it. It is simply there when yesterday it was not. Within the black and white striped canvas tents is an utterly unique experience full of breathtaking amazements. It's called Le Cirque de Rêve. I don't know. And it is only open at night. But behind the scenes, a fierce competition is underway, a duel between 2 young magicians, Celia and Marco, who have been trained since childhood, expressly for this purpose by their mercurial instructors. Unbeknownst to them, this is a game in which only one can be left standing, and the circus is but the stage for a remarkable battle of imagination and will. Despite themselves, however, Celia and Marco tumble headfirst into love, a deep, magical love that makes the lights flicker and the room grow warm whenever they so much as brush hands. True love or not, the game must play out, and the fates of everyone involved, from the cast to the extraordinary circus performers to the patrons, hang in the balance, suspended as precariously as the daring acrobats overhead. Interesting. So it's like a fictional fantasy romantasy. I mean, it's got 4.01 stars, so I feel like we're doing okay so far. The Night Circus. I don't know why I get nervous every time I do this. And back to the random picker. Ugly Love. Dang it. I did not want a Colleen Hoover book. No. Okay, this one has been on my list for a really long time. This is what I feared though. I don't want to read Ugly Love. So I know it has a high rating, and I know that it was nominated for Best Romance in 2014, but I just feel like after all of the learning more about Colleen Hoover and her books, and after reading a few more of her books more recently, I've kind of been trying to stay away from her books. And oh gosh. Okay, when Tate Collins meets airline pilot Miles Archer, she knows it isn't love at first sight. They wouldn't even go so far as to consider themselves friends. The only thing Tate and Miles have in common is an undeniable mutual attraction. Okay, so it really just feels like a romance, like just a contemporary romance, which I guess is exactly what the tags show too. The good thing about this one is that it is only 330 pages, so let's add it to the list. Dang, and that's not even, I have had Layla on my Kindle for so long because I bought it. I basically am subscribed to this page that just lets you know anytime any Kindle books are on sale for $1. And so I've had Layla on there, and so I thought maybe I could just get a few of those read, but no, it is Ugly Love. That's okay. Okay, next one. Cross our little fingers and hope that we get something good. Bitter Orange. What is that? Here we go. Ooh, 3.58. Well, I guess we can't get all 4 stars and above, but this one is a mystery thriller, gothic, historical literary fiction type book, so that's exciting. This one says, from the attic of Linton's, a dilapidated English country mansion, Francis Jellicoe sees them. Kara first, dark and beautiful, then Peter, striking and serious. The couple is spending the summer of 1969 in the rooms below hers while Frances is researching the architecture in the surrounding gardens, but she's distracted. Beneath a floorboard in her bathroom, she finds a peephole that gives her access to her neighbors' private lives. To Frances's surprise, Kara and Peter are keen to get to know her. It is the first occasion she has had anybody to call a friend, and before long they are spending every day together, eating lavish dinners, drinking bottle after bottle of wine, and smoking smoking cigarettes until the ash piles up on the crumbling furniture. Francis is dazzled. But as the hot summer rolls lazily on, it becomes clear that not everything is right between Kara and Peter. The stories that Kara tells don't quite add up, and as Francis becomes increasingly entangled in the lives of the glamorous, hedonistic couple, the boundaries between truth and lies, right and wrong, begin to blur. Amid the decadence, a small crime brings on a bigger one, a crime so terrible that it will brand their lives forever. Sounds intriguing. I feel like this is going to be hit or miss for me. I don't know which direction I'll be in this one, but it sounds interesting. So I am excited about this one, and certainly more excited than Ugly Love. Okay, but we have 2 more to go because I promised I would do 6. So let's pick our 5th one. When I Sing Mountains Dance. Interesting. Oh, 4.24 stars. Whoa. Magical realism, fantasy, contemporary, little... Okay. Near a village high in the Pyrenees, Dominic wanders across a ridge, fancying himself more a poet than a farmer, to reel off his verses over on the side of the mountain. He gathers black chanterelles. I don't know some of these words, so I apologize if I'm saying anything incorrectly. Attends to a troubled cow, and then storm-cloud swell full of electrifying power, a giddy paean to the land in all its interconnectedness, and in it Sola finds a distinct voice for each extraordinary consciousness. The lightning bolts, roe deer, mountains. Interesting. I think I remember getting this recommendation from, there was a YouTuber, oh my gosh, what was her name? I know her name was Allie, but I can't remember. I'll put her channel below. She does not post on her channel anymore, unfortunately. She actually became one of my favorite YouTubers like pretty early on, but she has some medical conditions and that just stopped her, unfortunately, from being able to post anymore. But this was something that she recommended, and she had a lot of these like more books that were out of my personal comfort zone, but I had added them a lot based off of her recommendations and the way that she spoke about these books, and I think this is one of them. So I'm gonna give it a chance. It has really high ratings, so that's really nice to see. Yeah, I guess we'll find out. So When I Sing Mountains Dance. See, and I think this is why it's kind of nice to do this type of chat. Like maybe this is the way that I pick my TBRs going forward, or like maybe I do like some of them this way because I think it's really fun. I clearly put this on my want to read list so long ago, but there's so many books to read that like I just don't even think about it. And then at minimum I can try the book, and then if I don't like it, I can DNF and move on. Last book, we're going to figure out what our 6th book is. Cursed Bread. What is that? Cursed Bread. Okay, by Sophie McIntosh. 3.29, so fewer, but this one is a horror fiction. Why are these all historical? That's interesting. So yeah, anyway, horror, which is nice because we do want something a little bit on the spookier side for Halloween. Still reeling in the aftermath of the deadliest war the world has ever seen, the small town of Pont Saint-Esprit collectively lost its mind. Some historians believe the mysterious illness and violent hallucinations were caused by spoiled bread. Others claim it was the result of covert government testing on the local population. In that town lived a woman named Elodie. Elodie? Is that how we're gonna say it? I don't know. I think that's how it is. Okay, Elodie. And if it's wrong, I'm so sorry. She was the baker's wife, a plain, unremarkable person who yearned to transcend her dull existence. So when a charismatic new couple arrived in town, the forceful ambassador and his sharp-toothed wife, Violet, Elodie was quickly drawn into their orbit. Thus began a dangerous game of cat and mouse, but who is the predator and whom did they prey? This sounds interesting. Honestly, I think this feels, at least just from like the synopsis, a little bit more on the historical side, but it sounds interesting and I'm kind of excited to try it out. So Cursed Bread by Sophie McIntosh. Wow, we have quite the selection this time around. So just to kind of recap where we're at, we have The Girl Who Lived, The Night Circus, Ugly Love, Bitter Orange, When I Sing Mountains Dance, and Cursed Bread. I don't know how this TBR is going to be, or like what we're going to end up liking or not liking out of all of it, but I am really excited. I think that it's going to be really different to try this type of TBR out, and if it doesn't work, we don't have to do it again in the future, but I am excited because I really think that this gets me out of my comfort zone and just gets some of these books read, because having 400 plus books in my to read section in Goodreads, and that number just continues to grow because I get recommendations from you guys, from YouTube, constantly other authors are publishing additional books, so it's a lot and it's hard to get through them all, and I think that the same books are kind of top of mind all of the time, so it's exciting to try something else out. So we shall see where this goes. I'm excited to take you guys along with me. Obviously, I'll have reading vlogs along the way. So thank you guys for helping me choose my TBR this month, and I'll keep you updated as to how it goes. If there's anything that you're looking to read this month, put it in the comments below. I might add a few more books to my TBR in case I finish these 6 in time. I would love to know what you guys are reading, and then we can read it together. So thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.